In this video, we'll take a look at the ability to arrange lighting fixtures in an architectural space without a ceiling grid. So we use the Place Symbols in Space tool to achieve this result. So I'm in my ePower1 file that was created and set up in earlier videos. We saw in earlier videos how we can come up to the building properties in the space management group of tools up here and use this building manager to navigate in our model. I'll place these light fixtures in this Office 1, Room 101. Remember, we can highlight it here. We can select the display room shape, and that will not only outline that space in my views, all the open views, it will zoom those views over to that space. And then to exit out of the building properties, we can either left click or right click to return to the building manager and close that dialog box. Now notice that in this architectural model that I've got referenced, it does have a ceiling grid. I'll just turn that level off. So we'll do a right press on there and we can say level off in the top view here. And up in the ribbon interface, the electrical tab in the symbols group, this set of tools right here, we have in space tool right here. And notice the prompt will prompt you for the first point. Now these spaces are in the electrical database we saw in earlier videos. And so I can just do a data point or left click really anywhere inside the space. And then move the cursor towards the middle of the space. The prompt now says reset, which means to search the room, and it will search for that shape of the room, or data point to define the room polygon. So the second part of that means if I don't have that space defined in the database, I can go ahead and draw the outline of it right now. So in this case, I do have it in there. So I'll just do a reset or right click to go ahead and search for the space bound. So here we see that it did find the space boundaries here. So in the Arrange Symbols in Space dialog box, I'll set up the number of columns and rows, and this is looking at it in a top orientation and think of columns and rows. So I've got my columns set to 6 and my rows set to 4. So out here in the model, the columns will be going in this direction, showing with my cursor there, and then the rows will be going in this direction. And then we have the arrangement X and arrangement Y. This is the spacing of the fixtures between the boundaries, so the walls, and then the spacing between the fixtures themselves. So you see how it's either 1, 1, 1, 1/2, 1, 1/2, etc. In this case, I'll choose 1/2, 1, 1/2. So that will calculate the area of the space and then the size of the fixtures and place those accordingly to this criteria that we're defining right here. Now I see that I do have the closed 4 foot by 2 foot. That's the symbol I want to use. If you want to use a different symbol, if you don't have that one, you can come up here and say select symbol. Remember how our library is organized into different categories here. So if we expand the library, we see the different categories, and then within each category we have groups. I'll choose the tubes closed, and again I'll be using the 4 foot by 2 foot light fixture. Also in here are subtypes. If I wanted to go ahead and assign a subtype, I can do it right now. In this case, I'm just going to say OK. And then we'll define the height. So the height is set to 10 feet. Whenever you see a preview button in these placement tools in the electrical discipline, you can choose that and the application will preview the placement of those. And so it gives you an opportunity to look at it, change any of the settings if you need to. And then again, notice the prompt says data point or reset to end the preview. So a left click or a right click will send you back to the dialog box, and to get them actually placed, we'll select OK. And then the application will place the light fixtures according to those parameters we set up in that dialog box. So if I look in my view 1 here, which I've got rotated, I'll do a Control-Shift right click, rotate dynamic, and there you can see the light fixtures that were placed. Now you might need to clean it up a little bit. In fact, I'll come over here. Maybe I don't need a light fixture right here. And you can see how I have the 2D representation of the light fixtures at the 0 floor level and the 3D representation at the 10 feet height that I defined in the dialog box. So arranging lighting fixtures in a space without a ceiling grid.
If you found this video helpful, please give it a like. If you want to see more such series, consider subscribing to our channel. Thank you, and see you next time.